There has been a rationalization because of the competence-based education and the pathways. Now the schools are not categorized. The schools that are undertaking three pathways have been moved to category one, so to speak, C1. C2, the schools that will be doing two pathways, and the boarding school, because a boarding school is the same. I mean, a boarding facility is the same whether it is in a C2 school or a C1 school. That's why we rationalize that fees to be 53,000. But as I again said, we released those guidelines today. We analyzing them, receiving some comments, and then we'll be able to give you further guidelines and further information this hour. We have endeavored to ensure that this examination is undertaken in a credible manner, and we want parents, we want teachers, we want guardians, we want center managers, we want security teams that are engaged in this exercise, not to allow any sort of malpractice to take place. Where these gaps have risen and anybody has engaged in this, the government has moved in very, very swiftly, and I've had all these culprits arrested, and they'll be appearing in court, and legal action, criminal legal action is being taken against them. I continue to warn Kenyans, please allow the students, allow the learners to do their exams. For instance, there are situations in Nairobi and other parts of the country where 5 or so people were arrested impersonating as the students. When we've indicated very clearly that this year's examination scripts are individualized in the sense that there is an actual photo of the student on the script. So when you send somebody else to try and do the exam on behalf of the child, in fact, it is foolishness because it is automatic that they will not be the same people, so they'll be arrested. And once they are arrested, they'll be taken to court, but the damage is worse because the student now will not do that exam because they are not in school. You do that exam because you sent somebody else. So in effect, you are destroying the lives of these children. And I would urge parents, I would urge any teacher, I would urge any guardian who wants to engage in these activities to desist. Where criminal action will be taken against these individuals, whether it's a teacher or somebody from the ministry, we will be registering those teachers even after criminal process has been taken against them. The people who are involved from the education sector will never be allowed to work again in the education sector, and both their lives and the lives of the children that they destroyed will have been affected. So I encourage each and every one of us to have some values, to have integrity, to allow the students to conduct the exercise with peace. The government is prepared to receive these students both in universities, receive the students in TVETs, receive the students in all other tertiary institutions. So there is no student, there is no grade that will not be not have a student moving into an institution for them to be able to contribute to our economic activities and to have a skill so that they can earn a living. So there is no need for anybody to try and shortchange that child by tutoring or by engaging in those activities. Where, for example, students are found with phones in the examinations, that's a failure of the people who are supposed to supervise and vigilate the center manager. So action is not only being taken against the student, but also against the officers who are in charge. So I urge all the officers to be vigilant, follow the guidelines that we've been given to ensure that all the examination is done in credibility. We had a long meeting yesterday at Parliament, and then thereafter we also moved into another closed-door meeting with them, and we've had serious negotiations throughout the night. We are moving again to have a meeting with them from 8 o'clock today, and we're hoping that by the end of today, we'd have gotten a solution to the strike and we'll be able probably to call it off. In the meantime, we are urging the students to remain calm as we try and resolve this long-standing strike that arose out of the 2017-2021 CBA, which had a balance of money, and there was a dispute as to what the actual amount is. We've reached an agreement as to what the actual amount is. We were dealing with the issue of how that amount is going to be paid in installments. We offered 3 installments, but the unions rejected that offer. We further offered a payment of 2 installments. That's what they are considering. and if they agree, we'll be able to call off the strike and in the course of the day. Successfully concluded the K-Clear, K-Clear, and KJSA assessments. The KJSA being the first transition assessment to senior school under the competency-based education was concluded on Monday this week. We applaud the candidates, teachers, and officials who worked tirelessly to ensure a seamless process. The ministry is now focused on the secure transfer and timely processing of the assessment materials in readiness for release and placement decisions. As part of the transition to senior school in 2026, we have today released the guidelines for the implementation of senior school education. These guidelines will strengthen institutional readiness, assist teachers, parents, and learners, and other stakeholders in education to adjust to the new curricular requirements. This will also ensure that the schools are well prepared to receive the first CPE cohort progressing into grade 10 next year. We remain committed to a placement process that honors merit, learner preference, and available school capacity. The Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education examinations are ongoing nationwide. Today, candidates are sitting the chemistry paper in the morning session and the English paper in the afternoon sessions. These examinations mark an important step in their lives as we prepare for university education, vocational training, entrepreneurship, and future careers. While the vast majority of Kenyans have shown exemplary cooperation, it is regrettable that a few individuals have attempted to engage in examination malpractice despite repeated warnings. The government has already taken firm action against those involved, and these measures should serve as a strong deterrent to anyone contemplating to undertake similar misconduct. We will not allow any attempt to sabotage the future of our children or the global reputation of our national certification system. The multi-agency security team remains fully deployed across the country to safeguard examination materials and ensure accountability at all levels. We are mindful that parts of the country continue to face severe weather challenges, including flooding, landslides, and impassable road networks. Together with the Ministry of Interior and National Administration, county governments, and disaster response agencies, we have activated alternative transportation routes, established temporary collection and distribution points, and deployed helicopters to ensure the secure and timely delivery of examination materials in the most adversely affected areas. We assure all Kenyans that no candidate will miss the examination due to weather conditions or disruptions. We will protect both the safety of our learners and the integrity of the exam process under all circumstances. The ministry continues to emphasize the importance of providing a calm and supportive environment for learners during this critical period. Center managers, supervisors, invigilators must ensure that candidates are treated with dignity and consideration, including those who may require specialized support. Every candidate deserves the opportunity to demonstrate their knowledge and skills to the fullest. I wish to sincerely thank parents, guardians, teachers, religious leaders, and local communities for the encouragement they continue to give our learners. Let us all remain united in supporting the candidates through this examination season. With a peaceful environment, both at home and in our communities, our learners will thrive.